All right, Jessica, thank you so much for joining me today to talk about your journey to graduate school.
Of course, I'm happy to be on this call with you.
All right, thank you. All right, so I already said your name, you're Jessica, but could you tell us a little bit about who is Jessica?
Yeah, well, now I'm a pre-nursing student. I'll be in the program soon, hopefully in September. But
Yeah.
basically, I've lived my whole life in California. Grew up here, went to school, actually did my undergrad at UCLA as a psychology major. And now I'm going to be back at UCLA as a nursing student. Right now, I'm working as a research assistant and have been for the last 2.5 years. But I'm ready to start my new journey, my next steps in life. Um,
Okay, you're looking forward to it. Great. And let me just pause. All right, so I have one kind of oddball question, but you smile when you say UCLA. Why is that? Like, you said it when you smile when you spoke about being there for undergrad, and then you smile when you talk about it for nursing. What
yeah,
is it?
I had a really good experience there in undergrad, and I've met so many wonderful people. All of my professors, I remember when I was a student there, were just so enlightening and like really inspiring and made me want to come back to class. And I just felt like it was a very motivating and stimulating environment. And I really look forward to being a student there again, although I do enjoy working there as a staff member because I'm currently working at the neuroscience department there right now as a research
Right.
assistant. So yeah, I spent quite a bit of time there. And I actually could see myself working at the Ronald Reagan Hospital at UCLA and like I should have been born at UCLA maybe. No,
Okay, okay. All right. No, but that's nice to know. Okay, so it clearly is a very nourishing environment. All right, that's
yeah,
great. That's
I
great.
do enjoy it. The weather is amazing. Can't get over
Yes.
that. And I just feel like it's a really diverse, friendly environment. So I really like it. Yeah.
Okay, weather is great. All right, so let's talk about nursing. What is it? I mean, I've worked with some nurses before, but not a whole lot of nurses. So this is really cool for me. I learned a lot from you as well. But
Yeah.
what is it about nursing that drew you to the field?
So I wanted to be in the medical field, and well, at first I thought actually I wanted to do therapy, like as a psychologist. So I've always had that um, like desire to be, face to face with patients and working with people and interacting with people, and to do something more tangible and like hands-on and really see my work manifest as something that like patients would benefit from. Um, and so at UCLA, they are an R1 institution, so they were really heavy with like research, 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 research. And as a psychology student, I didn't really get that patient like interaction experience. And I know like as an undergraduate student, that's not really going to be the case necessarily, but I found myself wanting to do something more tangible. And working as a research assistant as an undergrad student, I was working in a health psychology lab. And at first I was really interested in that lab in particular because it was like a mesh of like psychology and health put together. And that opportunity allowed me to see like the medical field, like and nurses working with patients and everything. And I started to, ponder the thought of like, maybe I could be doing that, working with patients hands-on, being like an integral part of recovery or like support and as well and whatnot. So when I graduated, I stayed working as a research assistant. I had that as like my experience prior. And then I started looking into nursing programs, and I found that UCLA had a program called the MECN program, Master's in Clinical Nursing Program, where you could have your bachelor's basically in any field of study. So you didn't have to have your BSN necessarily, but you just had to fulfill the requirements. So like physiology and all those science courses. And then you could apply there. You had to have your bachelor's in any field of study and you could apply there. And I knew I wanted to further my education. I didn't necessarily want to get another bachelor's degree, where like I could have gotten an accelerated BSN degree and gone through that type of program, but I really wanted like a master's degree. I wanted a higher level of education. So I started looking into programs locally within California, the state of California, because I didn't want to move far away. All my friends and family are here. I'm really familiar with the area, and I really like where I'm at right now. So looked into a few programs around California, but definitely had my heart set on UCLA's program. And interesting enough, I applied last year or the year before and didn't get in. And I was really disappointed, and I thought it was going to be a little bit easier. I probably underestimated like how difficult it was going to be to get in. Well, it's a 5% acceptance rate. So you can just imagine like how competitive the program is.
Yes.
So I on it still. And I actually only applied to I think I only applied to that program the first time that I was applying. It was like my dream program to go to. And I was like, if I don't get in, I'm not going anywhere else. Like, this is where I have to go.
Right.
The second time around, I was like, okay, well, obviously I need to do something different. And I got on it right away. When I found out I didn't get in, I was like, okay, I need to change things up. I need to like do something about it. I needed to like get someone, I needed to get help. I needed to reach out. I couldn't do this on my own. And so I started looking around into like different resources, and I believe I found you on Instagram. And I was like, like scrolling through your page, and I was like, okay, she knows what she's talking about. Like, this is someone I want to work with. And I remember at first, like, I didn't know if I was getting it or not. And I was like, you know what? It's worth everything getting it. So like, it doesn't matter what the investment is. If it got me to where I need to be, and like working with you is gonna make a difference. I think I'm just rambling on. But, like, sorry if you're
Okay, no, it's fine. So we were talking about, just like why nursing, but you spoke about wanting to have more hands-on involvement with the patient, and then, going after that the first time and it not working out, and you deciding to invest in the process to make it happen, because that's what you want to do.
Yeah, exactly. And like, I just decided like, I'm going to make this commitment. I'm going to do it. And I'm really happy I did. So.
Okay, yeah. I'm glad. And so why the master's though? Because you were insisting that, I want a master's, not necessarily the BSN. For, maybe the young nursing student who's not aware, what are some of the pros and cons of that?
Yeah, so some of the pros are that you can go through, like you're definitely more mature by this age. After getting my bachelor's degree, I'm more set on like what I want to do for sure. And I also feel like I am investing in a higher education. So like the curriculum is like more in depth. There's more like, and it's also more broad. There's like a research component to it. Whereas with like the BSN, there isn't. And then there's obviously the clinical component that all programs would have. And then there's some additional courses that wouldn't be included in like a general BSN program. So yeah, and I know that most hospitals now are looking for BSN and above education. So they used to hire people, nurses with AAs, but that's no longer the case. They're really looking for higher education. And I feel like that's the trajectory of things. And I also do want to further my education and possibly narrow in on like either psychiatric nursing or neurology. So still stuck on the brain, but yeah.
All right. And if you hear me going in and out, it's because I was actually muting my mic while you were talking. So at least your answers would be clean.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, no.
All right, Jessica. So for somebody else who's considering a master's program in nursing or some sort of advanced program to help them pivot, could you walk us through what's the process of researching that? So you said some of it already, but what are some of the things to consider in terms of your background? So oftentimes the program somebody can target depends on their background, because that program wants you to have a certain profile, but then and also in terms of where you're going. So like you're saying, I want to do more, I want to specialize. When you're looking for an advanced nursing program as like the young nursing student, what are some of the things to consider?
Yeah, definitely. So, so as I said, there was the research component. I know that they did want to see some research experience. They wanted to see leadership experience. So I definitely made that more prominent in my application the second time around, showing that, you know, I do have these leadership skills. They also want to see, you know, that you work well with others, and you come from like either you come from a diverse background or you're an advocate for diversity. That was something that was really important. And then just trying to get as much experience as possible. So I know the second time around, I did a lot of volunteering work. I went abroad and volunteered in an underserved community in Costa Rica. So I think that that was something that was really important in the second time around that I applied. And just showing that, you know, you have the commitment and desire to like get through it, and really laying it out like for them to show them, you know, this is where I've come from and this is my track record, and like, you know, giving them the ability to feel confident in your ability to succeed in the program.
Okay, thank you. All right. And so when you think of where you want to be in like 5, 10 years from now, how will the program prepare you specifically for that? So what do you think that you're going to get out of this program that will help you get to that eventual goal?
Yeah, so this program is not a nurse practitioner's program, but I do think that it is the next step for me. And then after that, eventually, hopefully I could apply for like a 1 year or 2 year nursing program again, that's like a nurse practitioner's program that will allow me to like specialize in that. But I do think that it's going to give me an edge because it has a lot of leadership courses, and like their curriculum is tailored towards leadership in the nursing field. So I think that, yeah, I think that it's the perfect fit for me at this moment. Just, you know, obviously I can't jump into a nurse practitioner's program without having the
Right.
foundational knowledge. Yeah.
Okay. And thinking about nurses in general, this is sort of a fun question that popped into my head. For people who might not work in healthcare, what does a nurse do that really lights you up as a person? Like, what is the role of a nurse that's just so fulfilling?
Yeah, so the nurse is basically on the forefront of, you know, helping the patients. It's, you know, the first step before they even see the doctors, and it's the person that they actually spend the most time with. They interact with the most. The person that really knows the patient's needs and is there to help them through, you know, thick and thin, get them better, and really connects with the patient on a deeper level, I think.
Right.
And almost befriends the patient more than just, you know, assessing symptoms and like treating a patient, but really connecting with patients. So yeah.
Mhm. All right, thank you. And you spoke a little bit about this before, but if you could expound a bit more on your experience working together. So you said, you found me on Instagram and decided you were gonna, do something different this time around to get the result that you wanted. How was that experience for you?
Yeah, so at first I was a little skeptical, like I said, but
Yes.
as it
Which
began,
is fine. I mean,
yeah, I
but
know, yeah. But as it progressed, like I really, really, really appreciated your professionalism and your responsiveness. Like you were super responsive, and I really, as I said, I needed some like help. I needed support, and I felt like you went above and beyond. Like you did things that I didn't even expect you were gonna do. Like you would tell
Mhm.
me what I needed to fix, and like detailed explained why and like how this would benefit me and what ways, and you pointed out things in my application that I wasn't even like weren't even on my radar. I was just like, oh wow, yeah, that is important. And just I really liked your well-rounded approach. You took like every component of an application and like things that were,
Okay.
yeah. So my experience with you was just amazing to say the least. But so at first I didn't know what I was getting into exactly. I didn't know like how thorough you were going to be and how responsive you were going to be and how supportive you were going to be. But it exceeded my expectations. Like just, I remember going through my essays and going through the revisions and stuff and seeing your comments and like your edits and saying like, and seeing what you wanted me to change and really explaining why you wanted me to change and how it was going to benefit me. Not just saying like, it needs to be this way or you should do that, but really giving me like the understanding of why it should be that way. And then you caught things that I didn't even realize like were important, weren't even on my radar. And I just really appreciated your attention to detail and just your attention to detail and your support, and like really felt like you cared about me as a person, not only like the work you were doing, but like wanting the best outcome for me, not just like trying to get the job done. And I thought that that was, you know, really different from like a lot of other people that I could have worked with. I felt like also your approach was really well-rounded. So like, not only did you look at like, okay, the essay, it needs to be done like this, and this is a good essay and that's it. No, you looked at every component of the application. So it was like my letters of recommendation, and how to get the best letters of recommendation, and how to really like tie them in and to support my essays, and also my CV or my resume. You really went through that detailed and like checked every box and made sure everything was like lined up with my essays and my letters. My like just everything came together as like a full package, and I didn't feel like I was like parsing out things and like trying to bring them together myself. And it was really like you were there the whole way, and like you kind of molded it into something that was like much stronger than I had before, rather than just like one piece being really strong and the other being like half-assed. No, it was like the whole thing.
Okay, thank you. Sorry, I'm laughing because a child is screaming. Sorry. Okay, thank you. Yes, having something that fits all the way together is definitely, you know, very important.
Yeah.
And it's one of the places where people tend to fall down, but you know that by now, because the whole thing has to have, you know, one.
Yeah, I didn't realize how important like everything look. So like not only do they need to be strong standing alone, but they need to be strong together and support each thing. Like each thing needs to support one another and kind of build off each other. And you may need
Yeah, for sure. That makes it more believable. All right, Jessica. So my final question to you, popular question in the memorable essay circles, just thinking about nursing. And you know, for everyone, this varies. Like it could just be something that's fun. It could just be something that, I'm sorry, I have to stop.
No, it's okay.
Oh, this quarantine is so special. You know, so funny, I actually really hate editing these videos in a heavy way. I just love when it's like one shot and you can just, but yeah. Okay, sorry, and I'm laughing so hard because this child is not concerned.
Really, right? It's laugh.
Yeah, she's not concerned with my video. She doesn't know. She's just being a child. Okay. Oh, my
So they're gonna think I made you cry.
Oh, sorry, let me pause. All right, Jessica. All right, Jessica, so my final question to you concerns your work as a nurse. And for some people, you know, their careers are about different things. It can be, you know, just for fun. It can be for some super deep reason. But I'm wondering, when you think of Jessica and nursing, what do you want your legacy to the world through nursing to be?
That's a deep one. I definitely just want to, you know, help as many people as possible. And, you know, I don't know exactly.
Sorry, Jessica, 1 second. I muted you, so I muted myself, sorry. So just start your answer again.
Okay. So yeah, that's a deep question, but, you know, as far as taking it, I'm gonna say taking it step by step. I don't know exactly where, you know, my career will take me, but I just definitely want to, you know, touch as many lives as possible and help as many people as possible, and just find purpose and meaning. I think those are two really important things in life, and yeah, to help as many people and make an impact as a nurse. But yeah.
Okay, all right, thank you so much. And I'm sure you will be impacting very many people with your care and with your service, so thank you. All right, okay, so that's it. I'll stop the recording.